In this video, I'm going to solve systems using the substitution method, where I'm going to take one equation and put it into the other. And we're going to find the point of intersection of those two lines. Let's get to it. Before we tackle our first system today, I need to go over a little thing called the transitive property. It's going to be really important in our first example. Here's how it goes. If A equals B, and that same A also equals C, what do you know has to be true? Well, of course, B has to equal C. So that A transfers the equality between B and C. Because A equals A, then we know that B equals C. See how that works? That's called the transitive property, and we're going to need it for our very first example. You see that we have two equations. They exist together in this system. Y equals 5x plus 2, but that same y also equals 3x plus 4. You see how this is a little bit like my example starting out this video. A equals B, and A also equals C. You see how the left sides are the same. So what can we do? We can say that B equals C. We can say that the two right sides are equal. That means we can write an equation. So let's write it and see if it's helpful at all. 5x plus 2 would be equal to 3x plus 4. And again, that's because y equals y. We know the two right sides can be equal, set equal. I'm going to solve this by minusing 3x on both sides. I get 2x plus 2 equals 4. I minus 2 on both sides. 2x equals 2. X equals 1, doesn't it? So we have half of our answer, x equals 1. Now, where does the other half come from? Well, you just go up top to one of the equations and you plug that 1 in for x. I'll use the second one. Y equals 3x. Remember, we're putting our 1 in for x. Y equals 3x plus 4. So y equals 7. So the point of intersection of these two lines is 1, 7. We'll go ahead and circle that. 1, 7 is the point of intersection of these two lines, and I use what's called the substitution method. Now, technically, I use the transitive property to solve this. Now, on the second example, remember we've got 3 examples lined up. We're just going to get it done in 3 examples is all. We're going to use the substitution method this time. You see how this is set up a little bit differently. 5x plus y is negative 3, but also that same y is equal to 2 times that same x plus 4. So we're trying to solve a number riddle where we're trying to figure out x and y. Now this time, I'm going to use the second equation as sort of like my players in the game. You see, I think about it as 2 players, and they're basically the same. Y is the same as 2x plus 4. They're the same. It's like they're the same player. Maybe they both play running back in the football game, right? We can always take a player out and then put, hopefully, an equal player in. That's called a substitution in sports terms, and it's just called a substitution here in math. Now watch what I do. So I'm going to write the first equation. 5x plus y equals negative 3. Now remember, the players in the game here come from the second equation where it says y is the same thing as 2x plus 4. So anytime I see a y, I can replace it. I can substitute in 2x plus 4. So I am going to erase that y, and I'm going to put that 2x plus 4 right in there. So the y came out of the game, and I put 2x plus 4 in the game. Now we just solve it using our equation solving skills. Notice we have like terms here. So we get 7x plus 4 equals negative 3. I'm going to minus 4 on both sides, and I get 7x equals negative 7. So divide by 7, I get x equals negative 1. Now, once again, in order to get the other half of the answer, the y, we need to substitute that negative 1 into one of the equations. Now, I'm going to pick the second one because it's set up as a y equals equation, and I think it'll be easier to plug in. So y equals 2 times negative 1 plus 4. Y equals 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So it looks like the answer is negative 1, 2. Keep in mind, we're finding the point of intersection of two lines if we were to graph these. So it is -1, 2. All right, I have one more example lined up, and this has two twists in it. So rather than doing two separate examples, I'm just going to do one more example that combines the two extra levels of difficulty. So take a look at this. How is this problem different? Well, a couple things. I don't see a y equals statement or an x equals statement. So I don't have any players in the game, right, to substitute into the other one. And the other thing you're going to see here in a moment, and it's going to involve the distributive property. So I'm going to take this first equation, and I'm just going to minus 2x on both sides. So I'll do it up here. Y plus 2x equals 6. I'm going to minus 2x on both sides. So I see y is the same thing as 6 minus 2x. Y is the same thing as 6 minus 2x. So now let's go to the other clue, the other equation, and we're going to merge these two clues together here in a moment with substitution. So there's the second equation. You see my players in the game? Up at the top there, y is the same thing as 6 minus 2x. So anytime I see a y, I can remove it and send in another player. Now the player we're sending in this time is the expression, the number 6 minus 2x. So I have to wrap it up in parentheses because it's a number. We got to keep it together for right now. Now to solve this equation, see I said earlier, the distributive property. We need to use the distributive property to solve this. So here we go, 2x plus 18. Remember how we write our little arrows there? 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 6x, that's the second arrow, equals -6. Combine our like terms, we get -4x plus 18 equals -6. I minus 18 on both sides, and I get -4x equals -24, x equals 6. X equals 6. Now, where do we get the second half? Right, I've asked you that every time. We take that answer, that x is -6, and we plug it in to one of our xy equations. And I would recommend you go back up to the one that you created, that y equals 6 minus 2x statement. So y equals 6 minus 2x. Right, that comes out to be 6 minus 12, which is -6. So the point of intersection of these two lines is 6, -6, the substitution method. Okay, hopefully you found this video useful. We covered how to do the substitution method where we put one equation in the other, and we found the point of intersection of the two lines. Now, if you like this video, I sure hope you'll like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments down below. I always enjoy reading them. All right, until next time.